Hey guys, I'm gonna talk real quick about New Year's and the meaning of New Year's and where it came from. uh, the meaning of New Year's is actually derived from the old saint's patronage of Saint Nick. Uh, Not the same Saint Nick from Christmas, the one who developed Christmas, but this Saint Nick was lesser known. Designed the calendars for the Roman plague of generals and Caesar's palace, and what he did was he brought down everyone to level, everyone to size. You know, the doors kind of flew open, giant doors into a cathedral-like palace. When you take a look around, you don't really see a cubic type of instrument. You don't see a cube ego. You see more of a spherical, cylindrical, sometimes spiraling kind of ego. And it's massive. You know, it's massive. It's esoteric. It's, sometimes it's livid. Sometimes it's angry and irate, and when you see it at that pace, the pace that it runs it's entertaining. You know, the bottling of the milk and the values attached to it. You know, you take a look at the labels, you take a look at how much each thing costs. You know, the cap's on or the cap's off. And when you're looking up at the balcony where command stands, and they're looking down upon everyone else, it's like a feature of pools. You know, the balloons drop down, some big splashes of water, and the water, was very entertaining from the aqueducts of Roman properties and nomenclature. And the sutures that were placed there from the construction workers, that they were able to build the pipelines and like Rivet City, and they ran around, checking the conditions, the statuses every so often. 19 out of 22. And for a pleasurable experience, they would check in with, an African American female. There were a lot of African Americans around that time. And it predates, Europe, it predates the time that Europe was actually called Europe. Germania and, other countries nearby. I mean, it was just kind of like, the Czech Republic. Now they have libraries that can tell you all about it. You read on the internet, you're scrolling through pages that show statues, the helmet of the eagle, the helmet of the owl, and as well as the horns that protrude from the magicians, and the magical beasts that you're capable of finding within. And the Letterman jackets, you separate those from the magazines. That's an awful thing. You don't want to see that kind of activity, because what that's going to do is that's going to shut down and shut out any kind of reasonable, future-driven, future-oriented type of living. And that's one of the unfortunate things about it. So when New Year's comes around, every 365 days, you divide that by 33, you have one of your answers divided by 32. It's closer to the truth. And when you have point 1, point 2, point 3, it's incredible. People are just like, you're amazed. You're amazed. And it's like following a maze. You don't know why, but you're there going through the tunnel, going out of it. And, it can be foot shaped. It can be sort of like a heel, like or the arch, you know, and you avoid that part too. You avoid that because you cannot be satiated with simply one act of sexual beasting the nature of yourself. You have to think about it in sort of a term of 2020 going into 2021, 22, you know, and you press on the tongs and you level it out. The leverage that was provided by all the countries involved, you know, Serbia, they chicken out, you know, and the planes, the monitors are displaying for you a very horizontal traveling adventure. It's reverent, you know, and lithium technologies, and it's brought to you by people a lot closer than you think in the reflection of the mirrors, you know, your hands, the sophistication of it all. You know, you're staring up and you don't know how to respect what it is that you're looking at. So when you're finally able to come to terms with who you are, you're looking at it face to face, and you allow the saints to do their calling, their trumpeting, their tromboning, you know, of a big band nature, then you're seriously involving yourself in what could be a cataclysmic, destructive, yet thought-provoking environment. And, revealing that sort of animal power, especially after almost dying, you know. After almost dying and having a repeat of the cycles that you've already run before with astrology in mind and the pairing of the stars, you know, the stars can really see that, you know, they see and they get upset, you know, because they're not sure how to handle it, they're not sure how to take it, the madness. And when you flip that light switch, you know, you walk into a place where you realize you're actually okay, and madness somehow leads you directly out into single file lines, and then you're just happy, you know. I'm happy with what will be happening. And take a look at the side of the boat, you know, take a look at the side where you're supposed to get up on that ramp with all the other people wearing their hats and striped vests, canes, you know. So you change that, you start driving down the proper roads, you notice that fireworks finally invented, individualized, and inspired. You know, the fires are lit for you to be inspired. Look up into the sky and you can see the next year coming up. It looks disgustingly compressed, but as it decompresses and it gets more sharpened, I guess, the sharper image focus, you know. There's a lot of stuff that you can buy online. You just buy things online, just keep buying, purchasing, and I mean, it's kind of like, I'm not sure what to think of it. But when you finally make those purchases, when you actually look down at it, that's how you make it. So, Happy New Year's to all of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for losing. Thank you for being a bunch of losers. And just keep winning at the endeavors that you have, the endeavors that you know, and the victories. Accept your victories for where you are. Whether or not you're playing pool, whether or not you're. I mean, how many people would catch on to something like that? Constantly playing that. Knock it off. Swim around the pool for a little bit, fisheye lens, and get out of that area. Start noticing that the sun rises and it creates an environment of safety, peace, and looking around is just like your worth, your value is just that high, like it's that amazing. So just remember that. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, happy New Year. I'll be doing more of these soon. But you hate it, but you love it. You love it.